Hey Jeff, what is this opportunity on this team pairing up with Kevin again? What does this mean to you?
Uh, I mean, just the chance that we have, to compete for a championship, but obviously doing it, with somebody I call, one of my brothers, from, being from the same area, coming in at the same year. Obviously, our career are on different paths, but, just having this opportunity to be alongside him, to have this experience, it's going to be all that and more, coming from where we come from.
Next up, Brian Lewis from the New York Post.
Hey, Jeff. Welcome to Brooklyn.
Thank you.
You're also pairing up with Mike DAntoni again. You don't often see guys have their best offensive season at 33. Do you figure you found something at stretch 5 that really works with your skill set? And how nice will it be to be reunited with Mike?
It's great. I saw him the other day. Talked the small window of memories that we had together. It was very effective, under his offensive influence. So hopefully, that can translate here to help this team in any way possible. But, I'm excited. To be alongside him, Coach Nash, and the personnel that we have on this team. I think it's going to be a great year.
Greg Logan from Newsday.
Hi, Jeff. I was just wondering if you're a couple years older than Kevin. Can you go into a little detail about the relationship you had with him growing up in Prince George's, and then how it has developed from the time you played together early in your NBA careers with the Sonics and Thunder? And was he an influence in bringing you here?
Our relationship didn't start building to what it is today until we actually got to Seattle. Like you said, I am a couple years older. He went private school, I was in public school, so we never crossed paths. But we have friends that are in the same circle, so it was almost like I knew him, but I didn't. But it started in Seattle. We've grown closer. I was 20 when I came in. He was 18. And, I was by myself when I moved out of Seattle. And the mutual friends that we have in common were out there alongside him. So we were together a lot. And that's where the friendship, it started to build. And it just continued to build over the years and grown stronger. So I'm excited for this opportunity to, like I said, to play alongside him. Watching him, all the wonderful things he's done throughout his career. Being a fan of the game, and also being a fan of him and rooting for him because he represents where we come from. So it's it's great to see. I'm just happy I can come here and try to do my part to help him and win the third ring, and hopefully, get my first. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Next question goes to Malika Andrews with ESPN.
Hi, Jeff. I know you've moved around teams before, but never with this sort of backdrop of the pandemic and accelerated off-season. Can you just walk us through what that's been like while you're also trying to assimilate to a new team?
It's been absolutely crazy. From a 48-hour window of, trying to figure out where I'm going to be, to 5 days later having to move without my family, which is tough, to, getting here, trying to get acclimated to, my new surroundings, also fighting a pandemic by not being able to move like I want to try to search for a place, getting from point A to B has been tough. So it's been a challenge, but I just look at it, I'm not the only one going through it. We all are going through this together, and we're all having to deal with, the way the world is. And, I'm just trying to do my best to, acclimate myself to these new surroundings, new team, new personnel. So I'm just ready for, everything to start, for practices to start, and, so I can get familiar with my team, get familiar with the coaches, just ready for the pandemic to be over with, to be honest with you, to, enjoy the new surroundings. And, once it all settles down, to take it all in, you become, one with everything. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
I don't think you're alone in hoping that it ends soon, but thank you.
Next, we'll go to Christian Winfield with the New York Daily News.
Hey, what's going on, Jeff? Welcome to Brooklyn. Happy belated Thanksgiving. How's your off season been just in terms of working out and preparation, and how has it been different to do that in this pandemic than in previous years?
I think the hardest part for me was not having the opportunity to actually play after the bubble. Like I said, it's been tough to try to find places where the group settings can actually take place, and to actually get playing time in. For me, that's probably the hardest adjustment. It was going to be the hardest adjustment. From not playing since, obviously I was lucky to, I played in the bubble, went second round. So I think that's like mid-September after we lost to the Lakers. That was the last time I played. So, making the adjustment, going to a new team, new personnel, not having a chance to actually play with these guys yet, and just getting up and down, getting the rhythm and everything. I think that's been the hardest part of the offseason, not having the opportunity to just get runs in. And, obviously they're taking place in other places, but I wasn't about that travel life during this pandemic. So I stayed at home and I kept to myself, so I'm looking forward to, practice to start, to get the opportunity to actually get going and playing. So I'm actually looking forward to practice. I can honestly say that.
Thank you.
Next question will go to Alex Schiffer of The Athletic.
Hey, Jeff. Welcome to Brooklyn. I got a two-parter for you, kind of piggybacking off Brian and Malika. Because you played for Mike in Houston and with Kevin, and I want to say DeAndre a bit when you were with the Clippers, do you think you can maybe make more of an instant impact than you had at immediately coming into this place compared to some of your other times as a first-timer because of the roster familiarity and familiarity with Mike? And also being the guy that's played a lot with Kevin, do you think you can help some of the other guys learn how to play alongside him, or him coming back from the injury maybe changes that a little bit?
To your first question, obviously, knowing a couple guys, it does make it a little easier. Knowing, what they like to do, where they like to be out on the floor. But obviously, some have grown into a different role from the last time I played with them. So you still have to adjust to, where they are at this point in their career and, how they like to play. So, that's where the practices and everything will come in. But obviously knowing them personally helps the adjustment, knowing, who you can communicate with and how to communicate with that person. To your second question, I'm gonna be honest, I forgot what you said. So I'm gonna ask you to repeat it.
Yeah, just you talked about Kevin and DJ kind of evolving since you last played with them, but you've played probably the most with Kevin compared to most guys on the roster, and obviously a lot of guys are going to have to learn how to play off of him. Does that experience, does that help, or him coming off the Achilles maybe changes that?
No, I don't think it changes at all. Kevin's going to be Kevin, man. For me, I'll try to adjust to, what he brings. Try to see ways that I can help him, take the load off of him to, help him do what he does. And, I don't know where I will be on the floor, but I know that I'll be out there playing hard, playing defense, trying to get out in transition to, help the team, help my teammates in any way I can.
Next up, we'll go to Brian Mahoney with the Associated Press.
Hey, Jeff, what's your take on what's happened in Houston since the end of that season? It seems like from the second you guys were eliminated, everything has changed. Guys started going, and so the big trade last night. Is that surprising, or did you kind of see things were going to happen once the season ended?
It's 2020. I'm not surprised by anything nowadays. So, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think anything of it. It's a business. It's a business thing. These kind of things happen every year. I'm not sure of what direction they were going in and what they were trying to do. I'm here in Brooklyn, and that's been my focus. So whatever Houston, plans on doing, that's their plans. I created some great relationships there in the short time I was there. Obviously, I already knowing James, PJ, and all those guys. So, I wish the best for them. John is a good friend of mine. I see him all summer. So I know he's going to be prepared. And I know Russell. Russell's going to, be Russell. He's going to go out there and play his heart out and, play with a lot of passion. So, at the end of the day, when I did see the trade, both teams win. You got all-star caliber players just swapping teams, and, whatever way that, Coach Silas is going to play, Houston players, and, that's the way he's going to play. And I know Scotty is going to, put his players in a way to succeed. So what they do is obviously not my business. I'm focused on what we have to accomplish here.
Next question goes to Tom Dowd with BrooklynNets.com.
Jeff, you mentioned playing some center in Houston, and Steve has mentioned you as a possibility for the 5. Was that a big adjustment for you? What did you feel like you had to do differently, and why do you think that worked for you?
No, it wasn't a big adjustment. Obviously, at the end of the day, I go out there and just play basketball. Throughout my career, no matter how many teams I played with, I've always been somebody who's going to be versatile, whether it's bringing the ball up the floor, posting, playing on the perimeter, guarding 1 through 5. I've done it my whole career. So, playing the 5 it's not really playing the position. It's going out there and just, fulfilling a spot on the floor and, try to, find open spots and knock down shots and, create opportunities for my teammates.